Hey everyone, welcome to another StarCraft 2 Procast. It is going to be Game 2 between good old Reese, who is actually Fruitdealer, and GoSuGatored. Game 1 we did see Fruitdealer open up with a 7 pool, and was able to, didn't do any damage. He did take down a pylon, a supply box, Gatored a little bit, and took out the forge before any real cannons went down, other than the one in the main that staved off his initial 7 pool. But was able to bounce back from that after not really doing any damage at all, and enter a macro game where he just out-macroed the hell out of GoSuGatored and destroyed him with just an never-ending army of roaches and hydras, which was preceded by the Zergling Mutalisk. So great game on Fruitdealer's part and GoSuGatored. They played extremely well, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to go down in Game 2. Again, this is a great map for that too. Shattered Temple, can't really go wrong with it. Very classic. This is ESL's Shattered Temple, I actually believe. And we're going to see an extractor trick go down. That's usually just to get an extra... I'm curious actually why he decided to do that. Just popping out extra drones. Didn't really need to do that. It could be something I'm just not aware of. No. Yeah, either way. It just allows, usually what you do that for is to get an extra worker on there, get 10 workers mining, and use that 11th worker to go scout. But really, it didn't really do much outside of just allowing him to get an extra 11th worker on there a little early, which I can see the advantages in that. Actually, I'm very curious to see how that would be in a normal game. And now we are going to see gas pool going down, so early metabolic boost almost a must. And really, this is one of the safest openings you can do any Protoss. You'll see almost every single pro open up gas pool or pool gas against a Protoss, because it allows you to get those Zerglings out before you need to get any expansion whatsoever. So if they decide to do pylon block in your natural, you'll have Zerglings out that can chase away the probe and take down that pylon. If they decide to do some cannons, you can usually get with the Zerglings and a few drones, you can get them down there and really stop the cannon rush because of the way the timing works out. So very safe opening, very typical opening, nothing out of the ordinary there, and I like to see that. Standard openings are typically standard for a reason. Now we are going to have that Overlord bouncing around, just going to see what's going to be dropping down. He isn't going to be able to do anything about that Overlord. He doesn't have a forge down. He's going to be doing a very typical opening as well, just doing his one gateway into Cybercore, and he's going to be dropping a Zealot here to wall on off so no Zerglings can run by and do insane amount of damage. This is going to be good if he wants to move this away. Once he sees a Stalker on its way out, he can move this down here, keep an eye on the natural, or even move it over to the 3rd over there and keep an eye on the 3rd. The Zerglings are popping out right now. We'll probably be seeing them run down there and just take out this probe that is patrolling the natural, just waiting to see when it goes down. Is going to see that's going to be going down in a fairly normal time with these Zerglings chasing it away, and the hatchery dropping now. There we go. And the Queen is going to be popping out just in time as well. And second Queen should be... sometimes you'll see the second Queen be made here, and then have the first Queen drop a creep tumor instead of injecting that larva, just because this early game you don't have the larva to support the economy you usually have, and then move that Queen down to the natural once this is ready to pop. But it does not look like that's what he's going to be doing. He's going to continue droning up. If we take a look at the worker count, it is... he's a little bit behind, but again, normal for a Zerg to be just a little bit behind. If you ever heard Day 9 speak about the Zerg race, if you were to have the Zerg race on a pulse machine, the whole early game would be them dead, just flatlining, and then all of a sudden, early-ish mid-game, you'll see them spike if they're allowed to get to that far, and they'll just be alive and kicking very, very, very hard. And it'll just be, if you can't stop a Zergling from macroing up, a Zerg rather, from macroing up, you won't be able to stop them. It's very difficult to stop them, rather, from there on out. But Zerg are very, very weak early game. Now he's going to be swinging in here. Hasn't lost a Zergling. It's surprising he didn't lose a Zergling there. Just doing some initial harassment. Seeing the pylon drop down. Going to be ready to just check for an expansion. Is going to check. Is not going to see one here. He does have his Overlord over here, as well as another one back here, just to check on gases as my Skype goes off. And going to keep poking. These guys both on hold position so they don't get dragged away by the Zerglings, or seeing the Zerglings, and he's going to keep them just out of range of the sentries. And good scouting information here by Fruitdealer, just really keeping an eye on him and really preventing him really from expanding right now. These Zerglings can pick off the probe if they want. But it looks like the probe is going to sneak down there anyway. Is he going to be able to catch it in time? Is going to bounce it around, is going to have to... He's very nervous, as you can see, for dropping that down there. And there it is. He's going to get down here, stopping it right from being put up there, having to move that probe just out of the way. Going to drop it again, going to attempt to stop it, stops it again. Fruitdealer with these 4 Zerglings have more than paid for themselves. He's going to have to be forced to drop a few Zealots down here just to spend some of that money, and he actually gets out of there with all 4 Zerglings. That Nexus is going to go down. He is going to check just to see what's going on. He is going to see that the forge is going down as well. Nothing out of the ordinary. I love that. delaying it that long is so pivotal. It just allows him to have his expansion just those few seconds or minute or two longer, allowing for a few more trips and just to have that economy boost as well. And he is up and beyond now at this point, past our friend GoSuGatored. It does look like, though, GoSuGatored does have a star gate here. He is going to be moving in with just one Void Ray. This Queen should have no problem. He's going to be picking off as many drones as he can and then move on out of there. He isn't going to be able to do much. In reaction, you can see the Hydra Den is going down. Don't want to get that Queen too far off creep, but he's going to let it go back and not really threatened by this one Void Ray. It is going to have this Void Ray on a long patrol. Zergling's going to be pulling back here. Just want to meet up with the army. Don't want the Void Ray to pick them off as they're out. He is one short, it does look like. Oh, he's right there. So he's going to have all of his Zerglings still. Just going to be picking off the rocks. Good to get some early work done just to work on this if you want to grab this. Usually on this map, though, you will see a Zerg grab this as a third. It's so easy to grab this on as a third. The gold is so dangerous to have, especially, like I said, for a Zerg. It is one of the best thirds in the game. Is this map, is just being able to grab this gold. So it is looking like he's going to be moving at those Zerglings. Finally going to lose a Zergling there. First Zergling he's lost so far. Free Overlord, potentially. It does look like he's going to lose that Overlord. Yes, he is going to lose that Overlord. It's fully charged and does not decide to pick on the Queen. But now that the Hydra Den has popped, range is being upgraded. You see 5 Hydras on the way, which should be more than enough to deal with this. And he has done some work on this rock, and then bounce those Zerglings out of there, head back to his enemy's natural just to see what's cooking. A lot of sentries, and what? 3 Zealots, and 3 Zealots because of the early investment in that Stargate and the delay on grabbing his natural. And now he's going to have to move out of there with his Void Ray. Is he going to lose the Void Ray? You don't want to lose the Void Ray. Yes, he is going to lose that Void Ray. That Void Ray did do some damage. Let's take a look at the workers killed. He has killed 2 workers, so some damage is correct. And not going to be able to do much else. I do believe that's an observer going to be sneaking on in here. Just going to be checking out just the front, keeping tabs on the army. Not going to be able to do much else. Gold is going to be brought down, so don't be surprised to see that third go down any minute here. He's not going to worry too much about this observer right here. He's going to be just spreading the creep happily and merrily, and now we're going to see the hatchery go down, and the third is definitely going to be the hatchery. I do love that he has able to get his overseer in here without any resistance, get a whole scout on the base, is going to see everything that's coming, is totally going to see that the Colossus is on the way, going to use it to spot the high ground, shutting down this pylon right here, and shutting down the Stargate, even though it wasn't doing anything. It's still going to get some damage done. Going to have to force retreat all the sentries and his stalkers to the back, even bringing his zealots back here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him running with his Zerglings once he has that down. Actually, nope, 2 cannons will prevent that. And the Colossus is going to pop out, is going to get it out of there before he loses his overseer, running straight back to the middle of the map, and is going to get that observer. That is a shame. GoSuGatored losing his observer, completely getting scouted. Now, that definitely helps Fruitdealer as a Zerg, being the reactive race, knows exactly what he needs to deal with and how he needs to deal with it. 10 Mutalisks on the way. Is going to go for the early harassment. I should say the late game harassment with those Mutalisks, and Mutalisks are good against, well, why wouldn't they be good against Colossus? Colossus can't shoot up. They have that whole problem where they can't aim upward. And the gold is going to be just finishing up very, very shortly. And I like that he has the other overlord here, spewing creep right on here, just to keep tabs. Make sure he doesn't grab this as his third. I'm going to keep poking here at the gold when he does. And now you can see he is going to be attacking that gold, getting ready to bring it down and take it as his own. So he himself is going to be grabbing his third, but again, it's going to be a little on the late side, and if we know anything about Fruitdealers, he loves to macro and loves to expand, so he's going to be moving in, double-pronged attack, I like this, moving in with his Mutalisk along the other way. He's going to be swinging on the backside. No, he's just going to store his Zerglings over there, not going to worry about doing any double-pronged attack. Does want to get a bunch of workers if he can. If you take a look, he has killed no workers, so worker harassment fail, but is going to get this down, going to shut down one of these gateways. These gateways aren't even Stargates are not even gateways yet. I was going to say not even overseers yet. That's not correct, Mathis. And going to be moving out of here with his Mutalisk, swinging on around the map. Did some decent harassment. Didn't kill any workers, but again, getting a really good scout. And at this point, he is reaching critical mass. And just doing work with these Mutalisks. I like to see that. Mutalisk play in Protoss versus Zerg is not seen too often. We know Idril loves his Zergs. I just think they hold so much potential, especially against the Protoss, who decides to not go your typical gateway build with lots of stalkers. That's the problem, is that if they decide to go stalkers, they can do, obviously Mutalisks aren't that useful, but you can still use them for harassment. Usually they're great for picking off those straggling workers or getting behind the main, especially a map like this where there's a decent amount of space behind the mineral line, even better on other maps where you can just pick it off a ton, like Shattered, not Shattered Temple, I had the name, it escaped me. Oh, it's been a while since I've casted a game, I apologize. I have been crazy with life lately. Getting those League of Legends videos up lately just because it's all I have time to play. And more Mutalisk are going to be joining the fray, as you can see, doing a lot more work here. Oh, that's so many Mutalisks. We got 3, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19 Mutalisks swinging around. And he's picking off this pylon here. Oh no, what is he? Oh, he loses power to 3 buildings. That is Artosis pylon. He was Artosis pyloned, as Day 9 would say. Now working on the workers. Gonna go for those stalkers. Colossus. Getting 1 Colossus. Worth it. Now he's going to be coming to the back again, doing more work on the workers, picking off the ones that are warping in. Can't do much. Stalkers are going to be forced to move around the map as fast as they can. They do not have blink, so they cannot give a good chase. And again, we're looking at Fruitdealer dropping around with 5 freaking bases. Fruitdealer's macro is starting to get out of control. His food is now beyond that of GoSuGatored, and at this point, again, it's one of those situations where GoSuGatored was happily sitting on 2 bases, did not decide to expand, even just going for that 3rd. Like, he cleared out those rocks. I understand that his that Fruitdealer's map presence is good and wonderful and all, but he definitely should have pushed for that 3rd a little bit harder. As you can see, there's just no coming back, and there's the GG. So we'll see you guys in the next game in this series. I'm looking forward to casting it. It will be on Xel'Naga Caverns. I will see you there.